Hi, everybody.
Is all, but also exploring, you know, my definition, or maybe questioning my own definition of God, but also exploring, what other type of spiritualities out there, or how other people in other countries, other cultures, how do they view God, besides what I was aware of, So I think that was a very instrumental moment for me in my growth, in my spiritual growth, when I was 18.
So that view struck me, like you said. We're all one. We talked about this a few weeks ago. Just coming to that awareness of the oneness between people and you and me. I don't know. How has that viewpoint kind of played a role in how you've gone about living your life? You said you wanted to explore this new way of looking at things. Could you say? I mean, what does that mean to you when people say everybody's all one? What does that?
Yeah, no, I mean, I remember back in the days, I was really shocked, but afterwards, like I said, let me explore this, and for some reason, I think since I was a kid, I always had this inquisitive mind. So even when I am presented with a new set of knowledge that I didn't have before, that looks scary or whatever, but I would not dismiss it. I would always like, that's interesting. I wonder what is that. You know what I mean? So I started seeing things differently. Oh, actually, he gave me my friend that day gave me an interesting exercise. He said, I want you to see this to see what I'm talking to you. What I meant by this. And I said, oh, okay, Willie, I'm totally open to that. And then he said, go take 2 leaves from any trees, and then put one space wherever, and then put another one in a different space. But go to one of them, talk to that one on a daily basis, touch that leaf, tell that leaf how much you love it or whatever, touch that leaf on a daily basis. And while you haven't touched the other one, and after 7 days, you will see a difference. And I did, and I saw a difference. So I'm not going to tell you what the difference is, so I want you to have that experience yourself.
Okay.
And then you'll tell me.
Wow.
Maybe we can discuss that at our next thing. But yes, so I did that. And that's at that insane moment on, that's when I realized, yes, what he was telling me, yes, there was some truth to that. And I decided to sort of explore more of his spiritual approach than what I had before.
Wow. That's incredible. Another topic that I wanted to touch on is like your move to New York. You said earlier that you packed up and left, and I said well, why'd you do that?
So this is not the first time I've moved. I've been moving, oh my gosh, almost all my life, from Haiti to Dominican Republic to the United States, around the world to Wisconsin, Boston, California, Australia. So I'm kind of used about that, but there's been definitely some hesitation, and definitely some deep soul searching before I made this move, because I realized I'm not getting any younger. I'm 45 now. I've been in the U.S. for 19 years and a half, and I still do not have my green card, so which means I have a lot of serious of limitation. I mean, I cannot even apply for federal loans, student loans, so which is a big, bummer. I do not have a partner. I'm gay. I don't have a boyfriend. I'm not close to my family, my sisters, my half sisters, my half brothers. So my mother was my everything, died. So at the age of 45, and I was working for the Department of Public Health in San Francisco. So at my age, when you have very limited options and limited support system, you know what I mean? You can only depend on yourself. So every action, every decision you make, you have to carefully review them, size them, take their weight, because, it's just you. So I had to pray. So this was a period where I prayed constantly. I said, God, you have to give me signs. You have to, you have to help me, because of course it's something that I wanted to, not necessarily wanted to come to Colombia, but I want to pursue a graduate degree in psychology, so that because I have a feeling, not I have a feeling, but I have some kind of vision, how I can contribute to this field in a much bigger um, way or format, than I would in other fields. you know. But again, because where I was coming from, and also with the need, the myriad of the plethora of need that I have, and I have nobody else to count on. So I had to really carefully and consciously, you know, look at the compare the pros and the cons. But again, I ask God, in my spirit, my angel, because now I don't just pray on the God. I prayed, to my spirit. I prayed to God, my mom, I got an angel, and I asked all of them to show me, to give me guidance, to give me the sign that if I'm making the right decision, and they did. So that's why, I came, but it wasn't an easy decision, because again, I said, I'm 45. I came here, I do not have enough money to even finish paying the first semester. I'm not eligible for student loans. I do not have a green card. I'm looking for part-time job, flexible full-time job, but then that's just gonna help me with housing and food. That's not gonna help me for $10,000, $15,000 tuition every semester. Absolutely not in that insurance. So yeah. So but again, with my faith, thanks to my faith. I in my spirit, my God, and everything like that, I've been able to do that. And I know many of my friends are still intrigued, because they know, in colleagues, friends and colleagues back in California, they know that they would never have the courage to do what I did. Even though they want to, they envy me for doing it. But I think my spirit, my faith is a lot stronger than theirs. But I would not even say that. Maybe also and they can say that maybe I'm more courageous than them. But my thing is that I think this is the moment for me to actually prove to myself and to the world that I not just talk the talk, but I walk the walk, because God has shown me the way in so many ways, and I said, I don't believe that He would abandon me now, or they would abandon me now. So, like I said, sometimes you have to jump, take a leap of faith, and then this is it. Because this is not something you can just say you have to do it to earn it. So right now, I think me moving to New York and going to Colombia, it's major faith test for me. So I am testing my faith in God and in my spirit, in everything that I've learned, and it's been great. I don't have any expectation. The only thing I know, that no matter what happened, I believe that my spirit in God will take care of me.
Wow.
And that's it.
So you have a strong faith. What happens with the anxieties that come up? I know a lot of us have anxieties and fears, and they're really strong. And how do you balance those with faith, and how do you kind of go with that?
Actually, my faith is my foundation. I don't have much anxiety. I mean, like I said, whenever I'm feeling a bit anxious or depressed, I pray.
Wow.
And then I feel better after that. Because I realize, this is really beyond my control. I cannot control that. But what I can control my faith. I can control, to a certain degree, my thoughts, meaning I can control my faith based on my experience and my relationship with the divine. Because this is not an experiment for beginners, It's an experience for people who have earned to be there. So my thing is, I've been through so many trials and tribulations, and my faith, has always saved me. And God, my spirits, have always been there for me. So I ask myself, why would they abandon me now? It doesn't make any sense.
Wow.
So intellectually, it doesn't make any sense. So why would it make sense spiritually? Absolutely not. You know what I mean? Emotionally. So I know. And also, I look back and I said, well, there's so many things I never thought that I could ever imagine. I never thought I could achieve in my life. I never thought I would travel this much and da 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 and da da da. And then somehow, my spirits and God, they all made it happen. I was like, oh, okay. So then why am I scared of? Why am I anxious of? But I do understand your question, because most people would feel, extremely anxious about being in a situation like mine. but also it has to do with the social programming. So I realized what my faith has been. My faith has been my biggest shield against the social programming that keeps affecting everybody. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong. I was part of that social programming as well. Meaning, it did get to me because when I was younger, I didn't think I could do this, I could do that. But now I definitely think that my faith kind of took